$3 million in its first 2 weeks of release, a record for its time. Theaters stayed open 24 hours a day. It was the first worldwide mega hit, and Bond mania spawned massive merchandising.
You too can be a secret agent at modest cost and small risk.
It wasn't long before television executives began to capitalize on James Bond and the 007 adventures.
There was a phenomenon going on in the 60s, the tremendous spy phenomenon. The number of other films and television shows that were so popular in the 60s, and Bond was the inspiration for that.
Will you be late to matinee?
Matinee what? That's a reward. I promised him we'd take him to the movie.
What movie?
It's an English picture. Wonderful cast. Many of your favorite stars in it.
The Adventures of 007, right?
Oh, man. Now listen, don't knock the competition. You may pay to watch him. You may learn something.
But audiences didn't stay home when Bond came to the theaters. Connery's next 3 films grossed $150 million, and he became the highest-paid actor in the world. But the demands of the series took their toll. Connery made the decision to retire from the part.
I've had long sort of innings, as it were, and very intense innings, and I want to change direction now, take another breath and do something else.
You just killed James Bond!
On Her Majesty's Secret Service starred newcomer George Lazenby. Although the picture was a success, Lazenby stepped away after only 1 film.
This never happened to the other fellow.
The demand for Bond was insatiable. Producers Broccoli and Saltzman turned to dashing British actor Roger Moore to carry on the legacy.
How can I refuse such a gracious invitation?
Where's Peckish? Where's Peckish? Pyramids! Ah!
What a helpful chap.
Moore pushed the series forward with 7 more Bond films that together grossed over $340 million.
If you're going to make action-adventure films, then what better than to be in the best of them all, which is Bond. You know, if you're going to be leading man in something, then be in something where they spend a lot of money and take a lot of time and care.
In 1985, Moore retired from the role. Timothy Dalton brought to the part a hard-edged reality that audiences now demanded.
Timothy Dalton, I felt, brought a grittiness and a realism and a more of a human quality to Bond.
I need to use your phone. She'll call you back.
Who are you?
Bond, James Bond. Exercise Control 007 here. I'll report in an hour.
Won't you join me?
Better make that 2.
And now, for the 17th Bond film, a 007 of the 90s explodes onto the screen with a modern flair. Pierce Brosnan is the new James Bond.
I'm very excited. The support from people over the years has been amazing. So I really am thrilled to be able to get to do this.
The new film Goldeneye marks an unprecedented level of Bond action, with bigger stunts, more sinister villains, and a new perspective to the legendary character.
I think Pierce Brosnan is an excellent choice for Bond. He has the qualities that people have liked in Bond before. You know, he looks good in a tuxedo. He's got a certain savoir-faire. He has a good self-deprecating sense of humor, which always comes in well for Bond.
You don't need the gun.
That depends on your definition of safe sex.
It looks like that naughty Mr. Bond has lost none of his devastating appeal. But you'd think that after decades of harrowing escapes, he might consider an easier line of work. But then again, what would a James Bond film be without a good dose of rollicking action and a death-defying stunt or two? Or 3. Or maybe even 4.
Coming up next, a look back at 007, the man of action, including the stunts that went dangerously wrong and the record-breaking bungee jump from the newest James Bond film, GoldenEye.
Now, I promise you'll stay right there. I shan't be long.
You have to wonder about secret agents sometimes, because you'd think the term secret would imply maintaining a low profile. In the world of 007, this Aston Martin is about as low profile as it gets. But over the years, this car has helped him out of some extremely dodgy situations. Be it behind the wheel or not, Bond certainly had more than his fair share of the action.
Secret agent!
Drop a bomb.
What is it with you and moving vehicles?
For GoldenEye, there's a vehicle of the 90s. The new BMW Z3 Roadster will usher in the action with contemporary style.
Oh, Wade. Don't push any of the buttons on that car.
We're just gonna go bowing around in it.
Exactly.
Leave it to a Bond movie to deliver something new and different every time. One of the most tremendous and memorable stunts was the open to The Spy Who Loved Me.
The stunt's been called by a couple of very generous reviewers the greatest and one of the greatest stunts in film history. And, you know, it wasn't very complex. Some of these stunts are really complex and technological. This one, you know, I almost felt that Gravity should have got equal billing, equal credit as, you know, I didn't really have to do that much except go over the edge.
Choreographing these kinds of stunts is no easy task. The risks in filming them are very real. In fact, over the years of making Bond films, there's been some close calls.
The sequence in the Everglades was quite an exciting sequence, and we had a lot of boats, and they were traveling at very, very high speed.
He came up the bank exactly where we expected him to come, went sliding across the garden, but on the opposite side there were about 4 or 5 cypress trees. And he should have gone between them, but he didn't. He went bang, and the whole side of the boat was wiped out.
But there was more than one close call for Roger Moore's stunt double on the set of Live and Let Die.
And it was a very nasty feeling actually being on the island on my own for the first little bit. And you know that they're all, you know, the rest of them haven't rehearsed, they haven't read the script, they don't know I'm James Bond, that I've got to live. We're halfway into the film, and I had to finish the film, so the producers are not